I'm not a morning person.
Dedicated to being passionate about it.
Bodybuilders have become more lazy.
People have always thought I lift fake weights.
Iran and the United States.
You take responsibility for that.
This craze about cryptocurrency. I know you advocate. I know you're a believer in cryptocurrency, so I want to ask you because you talk about cryptocurrency a lot. You know, you advocate for cryptocurrency.
I literally, as we were sitting here, I'm getting from my investment group that I started.
What's the investment group called?
Daily Gains Investing.
I should sign up for that, man. I'm interested. I want to learn more about it.
You should absolutely come on and learn. I think everybody, whether they, because I'm not telling if they need to join, but everybody out there should at least start to learn and study what crypto is. Crypto is not just Bitcoin. It's not just Dogecoin, right? There are great assets out there that are starting to change the world, from central banks to blockchain data to food to services to NFTs. Like, there's so many things out there that are changing the global finance system. So you should have some knowledge in it. Mm-hmm. You should learn.
I hear two things about cryptocurrency, right? The first train of thought is that it's the future, or is the current. It's the new stock market for the new generation, and we're seeing just the tip of the iceberg right now, and it's going to basically grow exponentially. It's going to be the dominant force. And the second train of thought is that it's a bubble that's going to burst any minute. So be very careful in what you're doing. Which one? I'm assuming you believe that's going to be the next stock market.
Listen, I'm not saying there isn't a bubble. I'm not saying that there's going to be retracements and corrections of 40, 50%, which you can't be scared of that. That stuff is actually pretty healthy. If you look at the bull run of 2017, I think we had 7 or 8, if not 9, dips of 30 to 40% more. Whereas people that are retail investors, which 2017 was mostly retail investors, whereas today you have large institutional wealth coming into the market, people get scared, right? People, oh my God, it's going to zero, and they jump out, and all of a sudden it bounces off and it goes back up, and they buy on the way up, and they end up, fucking themselves. I think it's the future. I think you're going to see some bumps in the road over the next couple of years with regulation, with clarity, with weeding out certain things, getting rid of some of these speculative assets that are meme coins that are going to, be good for now, but in the long term, they're not going to have any real proof of work or utility. But there are some great assets out there that are doing great things for the world. There are things out there that are just more efficient when it comes to banks and cross-border payments with, the bottom line. I mean, the bottom line is this: we're going through a pandemic, right? A lot of companies, banks and stuff, they want to stay in the black. And a lot of them are starting to adopt cryptocurrency and the assets that are out there for certain, perspectives of their business, their banks, whatever the case may be, to create more revenue, to create, a better bottom line. The problem is, for most people here, especially in the US, is we're kind of last. Like, if you look at, the market, some of the Asian markets, Northern Europe, Australia, Africa, even Africa just jumped on the Cardano train. You see these companies that have been moving forward, and we're sitting here, still trying to figure out what it is, and we're printing money, right? If you have fiat, if you have money sitting in the bank, every year you're losing 2, 3, up to 8%. Whereas with cryptocurrency, it's an asset that appreciates, right? You can literally hold your fiat in USDC or USDT, have it appreciate over time. I will say this: I've been into crypto for about a little over a year, and I've watched probably 1,000, 1,500 hours of videos. I've studied, I've read. The people that I started this group with, they have been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years. Like, these guys are the ones that taught me everything. Like, I know 1/100th of what they know. So they're the ones that are running this group. I'm simply telling people to come join, to be alongside me so they can learn from these guys. But I still do my due diligence. I still study it. It's very fun. It's very fascinating to see where everyone keeps calling it the fourth industrial revolution, right? It's kind of like, people, it's like the online stocks of the early 2000s, right? You have, like, if you go a couple of years back, you had Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all saying, Bitcoin is BS, all that crypto stuff. It's all nonsense. It's going to zero. And those are the same guys that are buying it all up today. What does that tell you, right? True, the government or the media tells you not to buy something, more than likely 7, 8, 9 times out of 10, you should buy that asset or put a little bit of money into it. The other thing is this, is, if you're investing in anything, stock market, crypto, whatever the case may be, you should never put money in that you're not willing to lose, right? There's always a chance you're going to lose money. But if you do your homework, if you don't get emotional, if you study, like I said, the use case of certain assets in the crypto market, you don't buy a large green candle. That's the thing. Dude, I get so, like, one of the number one questions people ask, or things that people do, is, oh my God, dude, that coin's up 250%. Should I buy? No. Why would you buy something when it's going crazy up? Wait till it has a dip or correction. Every asset is always going to have some type of correction, whether it's 15%, 30%, 40%. Always wait for that dip, and that's when you want to jump in. Something as simple as that, man, are things that we try to teach people in the group, along with ways to earn compound interest, which is great, and other stuff. But I am a crypto believer. It's funny because some of the people that I meet that you would never think are into crypto, they know that I'm into crypto now, so they start talking about it with me, and I'm like, oh, I love it. Like, it's so fun.
Oh, it's fascinating, man. And I know you're not a financial advisor, but I just want to ask you one more thing. In your personal opinion, Shiba Coin and Dogecoin, are those going to be profitable, or you think it's a fad that's going to go away very soon?
So something that's more, and I've been saying this, I was one of the first people to push Dogecoin. Like Robinhood and Benzinga actually did an article featuring me and Elon Musk talking about Dogecoin.
Nice.
And I made a lot of people, listen, I called out Dogecoin back in December, January, and I made a lot of people a lot of money. I literally had people DMing me saying, hey man, I want to send you some money, man. Like, let me give you, I don't want your money. Donate it to charity. If you want, buy some of my sauces, buy some of my taste sauces, buy some coaching. I don't care what you do with it. But I did not put it up to get, like, I guess there were literally influencers pushing Dogecoin, asking people to donate to their OnlyFans or to their Cash Apps because they gave them a good tip. I was like, how fucking stupid is that? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But what's important about cryptocurrency is, especially from a retail perspective, is branding. Branding is always going to be more important at the beginning than use case and proof of work. So something like Dogecoin or Shibcoin, although Shiba, actually the tokenomics are better for Shib. Shib is actually a better project than Doge. But they're speculative assets, meaning they only can hold value, right? The value is only determined on the market cap, what's inside it, the holders, that whole line. There's more that goes into it. But there is no real world where there's no, like, it's not going to have a utility. It doesn't solve a problem. So in that perspective, it's like, is it really going to be better than like Bitcoin, which is a large, speculative asset? No, probably not. But it has branding. You have a ton of people on social media that got behind Dogecoin and pushed it to where it was, especially after the whole GameStop thing, right? After the whole GameStop and AMC thing, they're like, oh, well, hey, if these big whales can continue to, take our money from us and run the stock markets and manipulate things, let's do it with Dogecoin. Let's do it with, Shiba. And that's kind of what happened, is people started to come from stocks into crypto, and then they started to see all the branding and the hype behind Dogecoin. Nobody ever thought it would do what it did. It got up to what, 60, 70 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different now. The bottom line is if Elon Musk puts his name behind something, there's probably a good chance it's going to stay around, right?
People get very upset after the SNL. There was so much hype about SNL. People were like, "Oh, this is going to go to the moon now," and then it kind of dipped right after it.
Listen, again, man, it's ridiculous for people to get upset about that kind of stuff. Right. What you're doing is a risk in the first place, right? He didn't say anything wrong. The guy's done nothing but make people money by pushing this crypto, right? People need to do their homework. Listen, I like Dogecoin and I don't like it. I'll tell you why. I like it because it's introducing people to crypto, and I would love for people to hold a little bit of Dogecoin if you want, but I never tell people don't put more than 3, 5, 7% of your portfolio into a Hail Mary meme coin like that, right? Put your money in the assets that have proof of work, that are good, good coins to hold, that have a great future, like the VeChains, the Cardanos, the Zilicas, the Harmonies, the Matic, the Graph, the Chainlink. Like, these are products, XRP, XLM, two of my favorite. These are things that solve real world problems. Whereas Dogecoin, as soon as it fades away, and who knows how long it's gonna hang around if they're gonna keep pushing it. I mean, SHIB is another great coin that has followed the path of the Dogecoin. You see all these meme coins that are literally taking the blueprint from Doge and blowing up, and they're making people a ton of money, a ton of money. So again, I like it because it introduces people to crypto, it brings people into the market. They learn. But what I don't like about it is it's still a speculative asset where the only thing that makes the money is if people are putting money in. So for a lot of people, they're going to, like people that always buy that green candle and they buy it going up. You know, when it got up to 60, 70 cents, then all of a sudden it drops down to 40 cents. And they're like, oh my God, I lost all this money. Their first impression of crypto is going to be it's bullshit. It's a scam.
Exactly.
And in all honesty, when I first started posting about this group that I have, this Daily Gains, the amount of people that reached out were like, oh, crypto's a scam. You're a scam. You're scamming people. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You literally have a market that went from 150 billion last year to today. I mean, but March, February last year was like 150 billion. Something. Today it's 2.4, 2.5 trillion.
It's insane.
You're looking at 100 to 150 trillion dollar market cap by 2026, 2025, 2026. If it replaces any percentage of the derivatives market or the Nostra Vosa around the world or any of the money sitting in banks, like holy shit, like you're talking hundreds and hundreds of trillions going up into the quadrillions at some point. So if you think that this is going away or that there's no future in this, again, you're probably one of those people that talk shit about it, but behind scenes, you talk the book, and then behind scenes, you're buying it up because I mean what do people do with media, right? They try to scare you, right? The media. Look at what's going on with the pandemic. Same thing you'll see about crypto. People are telling people, crypto. Those are the same motherfuckers that are going on buying tons of this shit up, and just to fuck over the retail investor. They don't want retail investors to get rich or to have this type of power, and that's why I love crypto. It's decentralized. I love DeFi projects. So I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan.
That's awesome, man. I'm gonna check out that group, man. I want to learn from you, man.
You can learn a little bit from me, but the guys in there, the guys that have been running it, I've made significant gains over the past 6 months, like very, very significant gains, which I post a little bit about just to prove to people that I'm very heavily invested. And these guys, I thank every single day. I've literally, they've done so much for me and helped me create some good wealth that I can do some good things for my family with through crypto and kind of steered me in the right path. So that they run the group. They're in there 14, 16 hours a day, helping people one-on-one. They're awesome, awesome guys. And, I've taken some of the knowledge that I've gained from them and passed it on to people. I have friends that text me every single day, hey man, I've never had this much money before. And they're just like, thank you. I had a buddy of mine just bought a brand new car the other day with what he's made. I had one buddy of mine that came in the group. He put $250 in SHIB. We told everybody in the group to put money in SHIB 2 months ago. He put $250 in. He sold the other day at $82,000.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So people want to get mad. People want to get upset. And like I said, they were on my page saying things like it's a scam, it's bullshit. But listen, man, you can get upset all you want. People are making money and they're loving it and they're having fun. And a bubble might pop, what do you do? If it does, guess what? I'm going to hold everything. I'm just going to wait because I know the future. I know the partnerships that these companies are making, that these assets have, and I know where the market's going.